In the chaos of modern life, we all yearn for one thing: happiness. We chase it relentlessly, pursuing wealth, status, and possessions in the hopes that they hold the key to lasting contentment. But what if true happiness lies not in external validation, but within ourselves? What if the ancient wisdom of the Stoics held the secrets to unlocking a life filled with genuine peace and fulfillment? For centuries, Stoic philosophy has guided individuals toward a life of virtue, resilience, and inner peace. Its teachings, passed down from philosophers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, offer profound insights into the nature of happiness and how to attain it. The Stoics understood that true happiness is not a fleeting emotion, but a state of being cultivated through conscious effort and self-mastery. It's not about seeking pleasure or avoiding pain, but about learning to accept whatever life throws our way with equanimity and wisdom. This philosophy encourages us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and reactions, while letting go of our attachment to external circumstances that are beyond our influence. The modern world presents us with a unique set of challenges. We are bombarded with information, constantly connected, and driven by an insatiable desire for more. This constant stimulation can leave us feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and disconnected from ourselves and the world around us. Stoicism, however, offers a timeless antidote to the ills of modern life. Its teachings provide us with practical tools and techniques to manage our emotions, navigate difficult situations, and cultivate a deep sense of inner peace. By embracing Stoic principles, we can learn to detach from the constant noise and chaos of the external world and reconnect with our inner selves. At the heart of Stoicism lies the belief that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. By accepting what is beyond our control and focusing on our reactions, we empower ourselves to navigate challenges with grace and resilience. Stoicism encourages us to approach life with a sense of calm acceptance, to find joy in the present moment, and to live in accordance with nature and reason. It's a philosophy that empowers us to live our lives with purpose, integrity, and a deep sense of inner peace. A philosophy that is as relevant and necessary today as it was centuries ago. Imagine a life where your happiness is constantly tethered to external circumstances, to the fickle whims of fate, the validation of others, or the possession of material things. This is the reality for many of us who live with unchecked attachments. We become slaves to our desires, our emotions fluctuating with every gain and loss, our peace of mind perpetually out of reach. Attachment, in the Stoic sense, refers to our tendency to cling tightly to things we perceive as sources of happiness or security. We attach ourselves to people, possessions, outcomes, even our own identities. However, the Stoics recognized a fundamental truth. The very nature of the external world is impermanence. People change, possessions break or lose their value, and desired outcomes often elude us. When we tie our happiness to such fleeting things, we set ourselves up for inevitable disappointment, frustration, and suffering. The Stoics urged us to examine the nature of our attachments, to loosen the grip on what we cannot control, and to find true freedom and happiness within. Our attachments often stem from a desire to control the uncontrollable. We crave certainty in an uncertain world, stability in the face of constant change. This desire for control is deeply ingrained in our human nature, a survival mechanism that has helped us navigate the complexities of life. However, when this desire becomes excessive, it transforms into a source of suffering. We invest enormous energy into shaping the world according to our preferences, often at the expense of our inner peace. The Stoics remind us that true freedom lies not in controlling the world around us, but in mastering our response to it. True power, the Stoics argued, lies in recognizing our limitations and focusing our energy on what we can genuinely influence: our thoughts, actions, and reactions. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, introduced a powerful concept known as the dichotomy of control. This principle serves as a guiding light, helping us differentiate between what lies within our sphere of influence and what resides firmly outside of it. Epictetus stated, "Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions." This simple yet profound distinction holds the key to unlocking a life of greater peace and fulfillment. When we learn to discern between what we can and cannot control, we free ourselves from the burden of carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. By focusing on our own actions, our responses, and our internal state, we gain a sense of agency and empowerment. Our attachments often extend beyond material possessions and external achievements. We cling tightly to relationships, to specific outcomes, and even to our own carefully constructed identities. We fear the pain of loss, the discomfort of change, and the uncertainty that accompanies letting go. We may find ourselves desperately trying to control our loved ones, to mold them into our ideal image, forgetting that they are independent beings with their own paths to forge. We may invest all our hopes and dreams into a specific outcome, a promotion, a relationship, a particular lifestyle, only to be devastated when things don't unfold according to our meticulously crafted plans. The Stoics remind us that clinging tightly to anything, be it a person, an outcome, or even our own sense of self, only amplifies our suffering when change inevitably arrives. They encourage us to approach life with open hands, to appreciate the present moment without grasping desperately, and to find beauty in the natural ebb and flow of existence. Here lies a profound paradox. Often the very things we cling to most tightly out of a desire for happiness and security become the very sources of our suffering. Our attachments, rather than shielding us from pain, make us more vulnerable to it. The more we invest in something, the greater our fear of losing it becomes. This fear can manifest as jealousy, possessiveness, anxiety, and a constant need for reassurance. We become so preoccupied with protecting our attachments that we fail to fully appreciate the present moment and the simple joys it offers. The Stoics invite us to consider a radical alternative, a life lived with less clinging and more acceptance, where we appreciate the good without desperately holding on and endure the bad without being crushed by it. This shift in perspective, from clinging to letting go, is the key to unlocking a deeper and more enduring form of happiness. Recognizing the detrimental effects of unhealthy attachments is the first step towards breaking free from their grip. The Stoic path to peace doesn't advocate for a life devoid of relationships, ambitions, or enjoyment of material things. Instead, it offers a framework for experiencing these things with a sense of detachment, appreciation, and acceptance of their impermanence. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By shifting our focus from external validation to internal strength, from clinging to letting go, we begin to cultivate a sense of peace that is independent of external circumstances. This process of letting go is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. a conscious effort to loosen the grip on our attachments and to find contentment in the present moment. It requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to challenge our deeply ingrained patterns of thinking and behaving. Imagine a life where you didn't just endure the ups and downs, but embraced them, where you met every challenge, every twist of fate, with a sense of acceptance and even love. This is the essence of amor fati, a powerful Stoic concept that encourages us to accept and even embrace whatever life throws our way. Amor fati isn't about passively resigning yourself to a predetermined fate or denying the very real pain that life can bring. It's about recognizing that everything, both good and bad, plays a role in the grand tapestry of existence. When we resist what is, when we fight against the natural flow of life, we create unnecessary suffering. We expend precious energy on battles we cannot win, clinging desperately to an illusion of control that only amplifies our pain. Amor fati invites us to surrender to the present moment, to find peace in the understanding that everything unfolds as it should, even if we don't always understand why. It simply means approaching our goals and desires with a sense of detachment from the outcome, knowing that true happiness lies not in achieving a specific result, but in aligning ourselves with the natural order of the universe. The Stoics understood that our perception shapes our reality. They recognized that suffering often stems not from the events themselves, but from our interpretation of those events. Two people can experience the same situation, yet have vastly different reactions based on their individual perspectives. Imagine losing your job. One perspective might be to view this as a catastrophic failure, a sign that you're not good enough, leading to a spiral of self-doubt and despair. Another perspective might be to see this as an opportunity, a chance for a fresh start, a time to reevaluate your priorities, and pursue a new path that aligns more closely with your passions. The Stoics teach us to cultivate a perspective of objective observation, to step back from our initial emotional reactions and examine situations with a sense of detachment and rationality. By consciously choosing to focus on the positive, by seeking out the silver linings in every cloud, we begin to rewire our brains for resilience and optimism. Section 3. Practical exercises for letting go. The path to letting go is not a passive one. It requires conscious effort, self-reflection, and a willingness to challenge deeply ingrained patterns of thinking and behaving. Thankfully, the Stoics left us with a treasure trove of practical exercises to aid us on this journey. One powerful technique is negative visualization. While it might seem counterintuitive, the Stoics believed that imagining the loss of things we hold dear can help us appreciate them more fully in the present moment. This practice encourages us to loosen our grip on attachments, recognizing that nothing lasts forever, and to cultivate a sense of gratitude for what we have while we have it. Another valuable exercise is the Stoic practice of self-reflection. By taking time each day to examine our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we gain valuable insights into our own patterns of behavior. Journaling can be an invaluable tool for self-reflection. Try writing down your thoughts and feelings about a particular attachment, exploring the root of your desire, and reflecting on how clinging to this thing might be serving or hindering your overall well-being. Section 4. The Art of Acceptance, Finding Peace Within. Acceptance in the Stoic sense is not about resigning ourselves to a life of mediocrity or denying our feelings. It's about acknowledging the reality of our situation, without judgment or resistance, and choosing to find peace within that reality. When we resist what is, when we fight against the natural order of things, we create unnecessary suffering. We waste precious energy on battles we cannot win, clinging desperately to an illusion of control that only amplifies our pain. Acceptance, on the other hand, allows us to find a place of stillness amidst the chaos, to conserve our energy for what truly matters. This doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to improve our lives or the world around us. It simply means approaching our goals and desires with a sense of detachment from the outcome, knowing that true happiness lies not in achieving a specific result, but in aligning ourselves with the natural order of the universe. Acceptance invites us to find peace in the present moment, to embrace the good without clinging, and endure the bad without being crushed by it. It's a process of surrendering to what is, letting go of our need to control, and finding freedom in the realization that true happiness comes from within. Section 5. Cultivating Resilience, Weathering Life's Storms. Life is a journey filled with both sunshine and storms. The Stoics understood that challenges and setbacks are inevitable parts of the human experience. They didn't seek to avoid difficulties, but rather to cultivate the inner strength and resilience to weather them with grace. Just as a tree's roots grow deeper and stronger in response to strong winds, so too can we develop our inner resilience through facing and overcoming challenges. Each obstacle we overcome, each hardship we endure, becomes an opportunity to learn, grow, and emerge stronger on the other side. The Stoics believed that our struggles are not punishments, but rather opportunities for growth and transformation. By reframing our perspective on challenges, by viewing them as opportunities for learning and development, we can begin to approach them with a sense of courage and even excitement. Cultivating resilience is an ongoing process, a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. It requires a willingness to embrace discomfort, to step outside our comfort zones, and to trust in our own ability to adapt, overcome, and emerge stronger from every experience life throws our way. In the whirlwind of modern life, it's easy to lose sight of the principles that guide us toward a more peaceful and fulfilling existence. The demands of work, relationships, and the constant barrage of information can leave us feeling scattered, overwhelmed, and disconnected from our core values. The Stoics understood the importance of incorporating their philosophy into the fabric of daily life. They recognized that wisdom, like any skill, requires consistent practice and cultivation. Just as an athlete trains their body for peak performance, so too must we train our minds for resilience, clarity, and inner peace. One powerful way to weave Stoic principles into your routine is to establish a daily practice. This could involve setting aside a specific time each day for reading Stoic texts, reflecting on their teachings, and considering how you might apply them to your own life. Even dedicating a few minutes each morning to reading a passage from Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus can have a profound impact on your mindset and your ability to navigate the day's challenges with greater calm and clarity. Consistency is key. Just as a small amount of exercise each day is more beneficial than a single strenuous workout each month, so too is regular engagement with Stoic wisdom more impactful than sporadic bursts of study. The way we begin our day can have a significant impact on our overall well-being. If we start our mornings feeling rushed, stressed, and overwhelmed, it's likely that these emotions will spill over into the rest of our day. Conversely, if we cultivate a sense of calm and intention from the moment we wake up, we're more likely to approach the day's challenges with greater resilience and clarity. The Stoics recognized the power of establishing morning rituals to set a positive tone for the day ahead. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone or allowing yourself to be swept away by the demands of the day, take a few moments to center yourself and connect with your inner stillness. This could involve practicing a few minutes of mindfulness meditation, focusing on your breath, and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. You might also choose to spend a few moments journaling, reflecting on your intentions for the day, and reminding yourself of the Stoic principles you wish to embody. Even a simple act like expressing gratitude for the gift of a new day can have a profound impact on your mindset. By starting your day with intention and awareness, you create a foundation of calm and focus that can help you navigate even the most challenging situations with greater ease and resilience. Just as it's important to set a positive tone for the day ahead, it's equally valuable to take time each evening to reflect on the day that has passed. The Stoics believed in the power of evening reflection as a way to cultivate gratitude, acknowledge growth, and identify areas for improvement. Rather than collapsing into bed with a mind racing with thoughts and anxieties, create a calming evening routine that allows you to unwind and reflect. This could involve dimming the lights, taking a warm bath, or simply spending a few moments in quiet contemplation. Once you've created a sense of stillness, take some time to review the events of the day. Consider the challenges you faced, the choices you made, and the lessons you learned. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for today? How did I act in accordance with my values? What could I have done differently? This practice is not about dwelling on mistakes or engaging in self-criticism. It's about approaching your experiences with a spirit of curiosity and a desire for growth. By reflecting on our actions and identifying areas where we can improve, we empower ourselves to make more conscious choices in the future and to live more fully in alignment with our values. Section 4. Navigating Difficult Emotions, a Stoic Approach. Life is full of ups and downs. We experience a wide range of emotions, from joy and excitement to sadness, anger, and frustration. The Stoics didn't believe in suppressing or denying these emotions. They recognized that emotions are a natural part of the human experience. However, they also understood that allowing ourselves to be ruled by our emotions can lead to suffering and poor decision-making. The key, according to the Stoics, is to acknowledge our emotions without becoming enslaved by them. When you find yourself feeling overwhelmed by a difficult emotion, try practicing the Stoic technique of cognitive distancing. This involves taking a step back from the initial intensity of your emotional response and observing it with a sense of detachment. Ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is this reaction serving me well? By creating a space between our emotions and our reactions, we empower ourselves to make more conscious choices. We can choose to respond to challenging situations with wisdom and compassion rather than reacting impulsively out of fear, anger, or frustration. Section 5. Visualization and Journaling, Tools for Transformation. The Stoics were pioneers of cognitive techniques that are still widely used today in fields like psychotherapy and personal development. Two particularly powerful tools for applying Stoic principles are visualization and journaling. Visualization involves creating a vivid mental picture of yourself embodying the qualities you wish to cultivate. For example, if you're struggling to let go of a past hurt, you might visualize yourself releasing a balloon into the sky, representing the release of your attachment to the pain. Journaling provides a safe and structured space to explore your thoughts and feelings, to process challenging experiences, and to gain clarity on your values and priorities. Try setting aside a few minutes each day to write freely about your experiences, your observations, and your aspirations. You might also use journaling prompts to delve deeper into specific Stoic principles. For example, You could write about a time you practiced acceptance, a situation where you successfully navigated a difficult emotion, or a goal you're working towards that aligns with your values. Section 1. Redefining Happiness, a Stoic Perspective. In a world obsessed with fleeting pleasures, external validation, and the relentless pursuit of more, the Stoic definition of happiness might seem radical, even counterintuitive. We're conditioned to believe that happiness is a destination, a state of being reserved for those who achieve a certain level of wealth, status, or success. The Stoics, however, offered a profoundly different perspective. They believed that true happiness, or eudaimonia as they called it, is not something we chase after, but something we cultivate from within. It's not a fleeting feeling dependent on external circumstances, but rather a state of inner peace and fulfillment that arises from living in accordance with nature and virtue. This means recognizing that true happiness is not found in accumulating possessions, seeking the approval of others, or chasing after fleeting pleasures. Instead, it's about aligning our actions with our values, living with integrity and purpose, and finding contentment in the present moment, regardless of external circumstances. It's about embracing the dichotomy of control, focusing on what we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, while letting go of our attachment to things beyond our control. This shift in perspective, from external validation to internal strength, forms the foundation of Stoic happiness. We live in a world saturated with images of success, wealth, and achievement. Social media feeds are filled with carefully curated portrayals of seemingly perfect lives, fueling a sense of inadequacy and a relentless desire for more. We chase after external validation, believing that happiness lies in acquiring the next promotion, the bigger house, or the most Instagram-worthy vacation. The Stoics, however, recognized the inherent emptiness of this pursuit. They understood that external validation is fleeting and unreliable. Our happiness becomes dependent on factors outside of our control, the opinions of others, the whims of fate, the constantly shifting sands of societal expectations. When we tie our self-worth to external achievements, we set ourselves up for inevitable disappointment. There will always be someone more successful, more accomplished, more liked on social media. This constant comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and a never-ending cycle of striving that leaves us feeling empty and unfulfilled. The Stoics invite us to break free from this exhausting cycle. They remind us that true happiness is not found in the fleeting approval of others, but in the quiet satisfaction of living in accordance with our values, pursuing our own definition of success, and finding contentment in the journey rather than obsessing over the destination. Contentment, in the Stoic sense, is not about settling for mediocrity or resigning ourselves to a life devoid of ambition. It's about finding a deep sense of peace and satisfaction in the present moment, regardless of external circumstances. It's about recognizing that true happiness is not something we achieve, but something we cultivate. This means shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have. It's about appreciating the simple joys in life, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of loved ones, the beauty of nature. It's about finding gratitude in the everyday moments that make up our lives, rather than constantly striving for something more. Cultivating contentment requires a conscious effort to rewire our brains, to shift our focus from scarcity to abundance. It's about challenging negative thought patterns and replacing them with thoughts of gratitude, appreciation, and acceptance. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending that difficulties don't exist. It simply means choosing to approach life's ups and downs with a sense of perspective, recognizing that even amidst hardship, there is always something to be grateful for, always an opportunity for growth and learning. The Stoics believed that true happiness is inextricably linked to living a virtuous life. They identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, as the guiding principles for a fulfilling and meaningful existence. Wisdom for the Stoics meant seeking knowledge and understanding, striving to see the world clearly and make decisions based on reason and logic, rather than being swayed by emotions or biases. Justice involved treating others fairly and with respect, recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. Courage didn't necessarily mean facing physical danger, but rather having the inner strength to face our fears, to stand up for what we believe in, and to do what is right, even when it's difficult. Temperance, the final virtue, involved practicing self-control and moderation, finding a balance in all areas of life. By striving to embody these virtues in our thoughts, actions, and interactions with the world, the Stoics believed we could find a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in life. True happiness, they argued, comes not from seeking pleasure or avoiding pain, but from aligning ourselves with something larger than ourselves, from living a life of purpose and integrity. Section 5. The Serenity of Acceptance. Embracing the present moment. Imagine a life where you no longer waste precious energy fighting against the inevitable, where you meet each challenge, each twist of fate, with a sense of calm acceptance. This is the serenity that comes from embracing the present moment, from letting go of our need to control, and trusting in the natural unfolding of life. Acceptance, in the Stoic sense, doesn't mean resigning ourselves to a life of mediocrity or denying our feelings. It's about acknowledging the reality of our situation without judgment or resistance, and choosing to find peace within that reality. It's about recognizing that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to improve our lives or the world around us. It simply means approaching our goals and desires with a sense of detachment from the outcome, knowing that true happiness lies not in achieving a specific result, but in aligning ourselves with the natural order of the universe. When we learn to accept what is, we free ourselves from the chains of worry, anxiety, and regret. We can fully embrace the present moment, appreciating its beauty, its challenges, and its impermanence. In this space of acceptance, we find true serenity, a deep and abiding peace that transcends the ups and downs of daily life. Section 1. The journey begins with a single step. The path to a more peaceful and fulfilling life, as illuminated by the Stoics, is not a sprint to a finish line but a continuous journey of self-discovery and growth. It's about integrating timeless wisdom into the everyday, making small, conscious choices that align with our values and lead us closer to inner tranquility. Don't feel overwhelmed by the vastness of Stoic philosophy or the perceived enormity of the task before you. Remember, even the longest journey begins with a single step. Start by choosing one principle or practice that resonates with you. Perhaps it's dedicating a few minutes each morning to mindfulness, reflecting on a Stoic quote, or practicing gratitude for the simple things. Make it a part of your daily routine, and observe how even this small shift can bring a sense of calm and clarity to your day. As you continue on this path, you'll discover that the Stoic tools for navigating life's challenges are not mere intellectual concepts, but practical techniques that can be applied to any situation. Whether you're facing a difficult decision, grappling with feelings of anxiety, or simply seeking a greater sense of purpose, the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance can serve as guiding lights, illuminating a path toward greater peace and fulfillment. Remember that this is a journey, not a race. There will be times when you stumble, when old habits resurface, and when the weight of external circumstances feels heavy. Be kind to yourself in those moments. The Stoics understood that we are all works in progress. Embrace the imperfections of the journey, knowing that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to unlocking the tranquility and wisdom that reside within. Section 2. Unlocking your inner Stoic, a lifelong pursuit. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its accessibility and relevance across cultures and time. It's not a rigid set of rules, but a fluid philosophy that adapts to the individual and their unique circumstances. As you delve deeper into the teachings of Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and other Stoic thinkers, you'll find that their words resonate across the ages, offering solace, guidance, and practical wisdom for navigating the complexities of human existence. Embrace the process of learning and integrating these teachings into your own life. Engage in discussions with fellow seekers. Explore the vast library of Stoic texts, and most importantly, observe how these principles manifest in your own thoughts, actions, and interactions with the world around you. Remember that Stoicism is not about achieving a state of perfect invulnerability or becoming emotionless. The Stoics themselves experienced the full spectrum of human emotions: joy, grief, anger, love. Their teachings, however, provide us with the tools to process these emotions in a healthy way, to avoid being ruled by them, and to respond to life's challenges with greater clarity, resilience, and compassion. The journey of unlocking your inner Stoic is a lifelong pursuit, a continuous exploration of what it means to live a virtuous, meaningful, and fulfilling life. Embrace the adventure, celebrate the small victories, and remember that the wisdom of the Stoics is always there to guide you, offering a steady hand and a calming presence amidst the inevitable storms of life. Section 3. Embrace the present. Step into your power. In a world that often encourages us to dwell on the past or worry about the future, the Stoics offer a powerful antidote: the practice of presence. By learning to focus our attention on the here and now, we free ourselves from the chains of regret, anxiety, and fear, stepping into a space of greater peace, clarity, and empowerment. The present moment is all we truly have. The past is gone, the future is uncertain, but this very breath, this very heartbeat, is a gift. Embrace it fully. Find joy in the simple things: a warm cup of tea, the laughter of a loved one, the beauty of nature unfolding before your eyes. As you cultivate your Stoic practice, remember that you are not alone. Throughout history, countless individuals have found solace, strength, and inspiration in the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. Their teachings offer a beacon of hope, reminding us that even amidst life's inevitable challenges, we possess the inner strength to live with purpose, to face adversity with courage, and to find contentment in the ever-changing tapestry of existence. The power to choose your response, to cultivate inner peace, and to live a life aligned with your values resides within you. Embrace the journey, trust the process, and step confidently into the power of living a Stoic life. The path awaits.